Good morning. I'm Teacher Rose, and welcome to Contemporary Philippine Arts from the region. For today's lesson, we're going to discuss art and its visual elements. The arts are described as means of expression that require imagination and or skill in making aesthetic objects or encounters that can be shared with other people. These objects are experiences that may exhibit what is in the imagination of the artist or creator. This may also portray ideas and emotion. These may also be used to entertain or persuade other people. These aesthetic objects and encounters create beauty. The arts includes visual arts, architecture, literature, music, dance, theater, and cinema or film. However, during the 1970s up to the present, artists began combining different art forms and media. An artist may now combine two visual art forms, such as painting and sculpture. An artist may also integrate two or more different art forms, such as sculpture and music. Integrating two or more forms of performing arts is still common nowadays, even though that performing arts are already integrated before the 1970s, such as the case. The term visual arts encompasses a wide range of forms created by Filipinos. It ranges from Western influenced visual art forms to work created by folk and indigenous people. Traditionally, these visual art forms include painting, sculpture, and architecture. However, there are other functional visual art forms in the country that need to be appreciated as well. Some of these forms include advertising art, basketry, metal craft, mat weaving, pottery, and textile weaving. This part presents all visual art forms presented earlier in this introduction. However, it should be emphasized that the aim for this part is not to make clear delineation of its visual art form. Bear in mind that tackling each art form can help in understanding further the scope of the visual arts. In order to understand how to describe a painting or a sculpture, it is important to comprehend first the visual elements of art. These visual elements of art are line, color, shape, space, value, texture, time, and motion. So let's proceed. Number one is line. Line refers to a prolongation of a point or a mark on a surface. Solid lines can be used in order to define form, while broken lines are typically used to suggest hidden forms. Number two, shape and mass. This element refers to an area with boundaries identified or drawing lines. A shape may be a natural or living forms called an organic shape and can be irregular or rounded. It may also be measured forms called geometric shape. In contrast to shape, which is two-dimensional, mass refers to solid portion of a three-dimensional object. Number three is color. Color refers to visual perception that allows a person to differentiate objects due to the way various wavelengths of light are reflected. Color is a very important element because it communicates information and emotion to the viewer. These are the three properties of color. Number one is hue, which refers to the basic or pure color and is represented in the color wheel. Next is value. Value refers to the lightness and darkness of color. A light color or tint is the result of adding white to a hue, while a dark color or shades results from adding black to a hue. Saturation, which refers to a brightness and dullness of color. It is also referred to as purity of the color. A bright color can be produced by adding more pigment to the same hue, while a dull color can be produced by adding gray or the color's complement to the pigment. The color wheel. The color wheel is an arrangement of primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. It is an important tool to identify which colors can work well if used in a certain artwork, which is the color schemes or color relationships. There are some of the color scheme. We have monochromatic. Monochromatic involves using the same hue but with different gradients of value. Analogous. It entails the use of 3 or 4 adjacent colors in the color wheel. Complementary color. It involves the use of a color and its complement, meaning the color located opposite of the first color. Split complementary colors. It is a close relative to the complementary color scheme. But instead of using the color complement, this scheme uses the 2 colors adjacent to the complement. Triadic. Triadic color uses 3 colors that are equal distance with each other. And the last one is tetradic. It is also known as double complementary color scheme. This uses 2 pairs of complementary colors. Number 4 is texture. So this element refers to the feel or appearance of a surface. A person may describe as actual or implied. Actual texture can be felt tangibly based on the material that is used for the artwork, while implied texture can be exhibited, for instance, in painting or a fur of an animal. Number 5 is value. This element refers to lightness or darkness of an area. This is evident in creating shadows for a two-dimensional object to give an illusion of depth. Number 6 is space. Space refers to the area that is occupied by an object or a subject, as well as the area surrounding that object or subject. An illusion of space can still be created in a two-dimensional surface using perspective. There are 2 types of perspective: atmospheric perspective, which utilizes the properties of light and air in depicting the illusion of distance, and the linear perspective, which involve the use of vanishing points and receding hidden lines. And number 7, time and motion. Movement in the visual arts can either be an illusion or an actual motion. An illusion of movement is more common in two-dimensional artworks. On the other hand, actual motion is easily seen in kinetic sculpture that moves with the wind or are vibrating with the surrounding air. Again, the visual elements of art are line, color, shape, space, value, texture, time, and motion. I'm Teacher Rose saying, share love to everybody, be a blessing to everyone. Thank you.